the recording. Okay. Let me first tell about myself, and then we can jump into the Q&A session. Okay. So, hi. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. I'm Kanybek. I'm a software engineer at JP Chase. So for the last year and a half, I've been working on a front-end projects where I have been building the investment and the federal tax rate reduction project. So far, I have implemented various features, including the notification, payment, and then sign in, sign out. And previously, I worked at Amazon and Deloitte, where I have involved in the building of different kind of projects, including backend and frontend. My background also goes to academy, where I delivered university courses for over 10 years. So I have technical skills such as React, Redux, TypeScript, also from backend skills, cloud computing, and I love coding. I love teaching. Yeah, that's pretty much about myself. Thank you. Okay, that was a short introduction about myself. You can come up with a very, more organized, constructive, sentences on your side. This is what comes to my mind currently. Definitely, interview is all about preparation. But when you are well prepared, it could be well shaped and well better. Okay. All right. And who is gonna start with the question? Who wants to get started?
Kanybek, it's just a question, not about the React. It's just really just for me. Look, like I'm gonna ask you, like, what was the reason? So you decided to change your company to you decided to join to our company. What was the reason?
Yeah, thank you. So I'm proud of my manager. I'm really happy with my current team. However, for the past year and a half, I have gained significant knowledge. I made a huge contribution on this ongoing project. I learned a lot of concepts and high volume of information. And I read the job description on your company where it's stated you're building innovative in intelligent systems by using up-to-date high-tech tools. I'm really interested on working and then making contribution for your future projects. So I want to tackle with bigger and challenging tasks from now on. I think I feel like I'm ready to start a new journey and be helpful for larger society. That's the reason why I would like to change my company.
All right, thank you. Uh, I'm happy to hear it. It's good answer. Really
Thank
good.
you.
Can
Yeah,
I?
I can. Sorry, yeah, Zarina, go ahead. No, no, go.
Thank you. So my question is, tell me about the time when you had to collaborate with backend developers to implement a complex feature. How did you ensure smooth communication and integration between the backend and frontend?
Yeah. In fact, I've been continuously collaborating with backend team, even if it's not that frequent as front-end team, but we have team meetings weekly with both backend, front-end, and product team. So in that meeting, we are pretty much asking questions, getting answers, unblocking the blockers, and then finding solutions for the issues that we have been having. Apart from that, I'm a good communicator. I can always reach out to the backend team. So pretty much, every day, at least once, I talk to engineers from, backend team regarding the features, the strategies that we are working on. For instance, the last time I was having a GraphQL issue, so I was like struggling in the implementation of the code that they provided. The immediate step that I took is to schedule a meeting with one of the backend teams. So they jumped in and then help it, and we shared the screen and then quickly resolved the issue. And then also for the next meeting, the manager appreciated us for that quick and swift solution. This is what I always prefer to go whenever I'm having issues or whenever I'm having a question. So I love being open and then communicative. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kanybek, thank you. So can you tell us a little bit about the technical stack of your company in overall, and in particular, which kind of technical stack do you use in your daily
Of
job?
course. Of course. We have quite an advanced like tools that we are using from front end to back end, from back end to cloud infrastructure, also from DevOps to all the way to agile environment. So I'm more involved in front end part. So we're using the React as a core library and then TypeScript to make our code super secure. Also writing unit tests both with the React library and also end-to-end tests using the Cypress. Pretty much we're using Jira, Confluence, Bitbucket for our daily stand-ups and then task, keep tracking. Also, Postman is something we frequently use for API testing. And from CI/CD side, we have currently migrated from old cloud system to AWS. I like AWS, the way it's handling all the issues over the cloud and then making everything secure. So yeah, these are kind of like the tech stack we have. Also, the backend team uses a JavaScript as a core language. I mean Java as a core, and then Spring Boot on top of it for the framework as a framework to build the system and an architecture. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
So who else want to have question?
All right, you can go on.
Lavinia, you have a question?
You can ask anything, right?
Okay, yeah, I
Okay.
didn't really prepare. So can you please tell me what difference between the primitive data type and non-primitive?
Of course. So, like other programming languages, JavaScript also has two groups of data types, primitive and non-primitive. So primitives are the very like basics. Those are not mutable, so you cannot modify them directly. So they are strings, numbers, undefined, and null. Um, so I would consider them as like immutable. Why? You cannot like change the string character just by assigning the index and then assigning a value to it. For the non-primitive, they are more complex and used in more advanced places. They are pretty much arrays, objects, functions. I like them using, especially objects, the way they access to the elements. So they are mutable, so you can mutate, but not the way you mutate in primitive data types. but by their references. So this way, we can classify all the time JavaScript programming language data types into two parts: primitive as non-primitive.
Thank you for your
Yep.
answer.
Hello, Kanybek. I have
Yes.
a question. What was great challenging in your career, and how you solved this problem? How you find solution?
Yeah. So in my career, I was going through different decisions. One of the challenging part was when I was working as a data analyst in one of the companies back in 2017. I was like continuously doing feature engineering using the Python, and then the way I was satisfied was not that as expected. Even though I was delivering as much as I can, sacrificing my time. So I thought like I want more realistic, more immediate results. So I took a risk and then started, investing more time on especially software engineering. Even though I got my degrees in especially in teaching and in statistics, but studying software engineering put me into a different mode. So I concentrated a lot, and then I started feeling more satisfaction because you get the results immediately. You get the results right away, especially as a front-end developer. I witnessed everything what I expected. So overall, that decision to change my field from data analytics to software engineering was one of the challenging, but the result was promising and satisfying. That's what I would say.
Thank you.
Yeah, kinda. I'm not that prepared for this question, but try to make things up. Okay.
Can you explain how you would optimize a web application for performance? Please mention specific techniques you would use for optimizing both load time and runtime performance.
Can you ask again the question really quickly?
How you would optimize a web application for performance?
Oh yeah, that's a great question, and I have been doing this one for a long time because optimization is key in any field, especially when you are building a bigger product. So what we do here at a company to optimize our components or load time on top of React is by eliminating the code duplicates. So we have to avoid duplicate codes just by using reusable functions more frequently. Another thing is by approaching with more semantically. If there is something needs to be implemented from JSX, we get to use the tag names more semantically, so the readability is increased, which also improves the optimization. And the next step is to use React routers, of course. That makes our application to be refreshed only when there is a change rather than the whole browser change, browser refresh. And then another is using the React Helmet. It's a great tool to improve the optimization. React Helmet. Also, instead of wrapping the components with things like div or some sort of like blocks, it's also better to use the React fragment. It also kind of contributes in optimization. Of course, like state management, and then also you know, the shortcuts, the short circuits, like avoiding multiple renders are all different options of optimization in especially building applications using React. Okay.
Yep. Thank you very much.
One comment, you can come up with the better answer, guys. This is what I remember. But definitely there are a lot of like what else? Like, yeah, React Helmet is something, React Fragment, React Router, but there should be several. I'm kind of not up to that.
In
I don't
React, it
remember.
can be that React memo, right? React
Yes,
memo,
especially, yeah, mention that one. React
callback,
use
React
callback, React
callback.
memo.
Okay,
Yes, definitely. I kind of didn't remember them. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was good answer. Yeah, to have idea what to do. So this
Yeah.
React routers will be helping on performance, right? So using
Exactly.
React.
Router,
Okay,
React
router.
Fragment, React Helmet.
And
These
what
are
is
these.
the what is a React helmet is?
It's also kind of, I think, wrapper that people generally recommends to use it. It's it's like a helmet, like the helmet that you to put on your head while driving a motorcycle, especially, right? To make yourself safe. This one also makes the React component safe and then improves optimization. But at what extent, what level, I'm not sure. But this is one of the options you can mention during the interviews. But take a look. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and then so yeah, I have a question, Kanybek. So how do you work with your team members? So with the people, how many team members do you have in your team, and how it's organized, everything, how you communicate with them?
Cool. Yeah, definitely. So we have daily sync up meetings, except Fridays, because Friday is a no meeting day. But overall, during the week, we have 4 days of daily meetings where we keep updating each other. What we do is, yeah, we will be given a short period of time that we start mentioning about the tasks that we have completed so far and then the tasks that we have on our table or on our plate. So if we have issues or if we have questions, we can ask right over there to get answers from the team. That's how we communicate. Other than that, during the day, the team is open, the team is really helpful and united. The team is leaning to each other to deliver the high quality product. So what we use is we have Slack, we have Microsoft Teams, and then Zoom for meetings. So these are the tools that how we communicate. People are all the time accessible. Sometimes, I mean, most of the time, I witness that my team members are even reachable after hours. This is one more time proves that everybody is fully I would say like giving and then working honestly for this product, and the communication is really fast. Everyone is getting the answer, even though like better than whatever they are expecting. I think this is kind of an answer, hopefully, for your question. The tools I mentioned, as well as the communication methods that we do every day.
Okay, yeah. Do you have Sprint Agile system
Oh
or
yeah. During
something?
the definitely during the daily sync up meetings, we go over the task list from the agile environment using the Bitbucket. Yep.
Can you explain closures in JS?
Exactly. Yeah, Clojure. I like it because it makes your scope safe, not too accessible from like different places. So Clojure is basically is a let's say the moment you create a function, it creates a closure. So you have access the variables created inside that closure only from that space, not from somewhere else. However, like if you let's say have variables created outside of the closure, you can reach out from inner spaces, inner locations, but I wouldn't say that's safe. That's why like putting the variables enclosed using the closures is always better. And that's why the JavaScript came up with the concept of closure to create, isolations for the variables. Yeah, that's kind of what I remember about closures. I don't know, guys. Is it something similar? I think this is what I remember from the concept. Maybe you have better structured answers, right, about closure.
I don't have any idea about this, but
Yeah,
Yeah, I
in
think
this,
I think it is. Yeah, I think
it is
it
kind of
is.
right because I
What?
remember the
Yeah, it is.
philosophy. I remember the philosophy, but I don't remember the exact like memorized sentences, which I don't prefer actually.
Yeah. I think so. You said that keeps your scope safe and so variable, so
Yeah,
access
at the end of the
variable
day,
only
that's
inside inside the
yeah.
closure. Yeah,
At the end of the day,
that's.
that's the main point. Yeah.
Mhm. So yeah, I have also one question. So which which approach do you use for state management in
Yeah,
your
yeah.
project?
Especially I like taking tasks related to state management. Um, of course, if the problem is simple, we don't want to. The first step is not to overcomplicate it. Just go with the hooks, using the hook state. But if there is a possibility that the application may grow in the future and then make it more advanced and sophisticated, definitely I would go with context. um, However, I would also like try to use Redux, because Redux is the most powerful, I would say, in terms of state management.
Do you use
um,
Redux in your
um,
so in your project?
honestly, no. But I'm fan of
Okay, just hooks,
using Redux.
just
Yeah, yeah,
hooks and context.
yes. I'm fan of using Redux, but of course, it may not be a good environment for everyone for every time using the Redux. Um, However, yeah, context is something that we rely on hugely. If there is something needs to be, shared from single point, because context you can implement inside the application some part of your project, not even if you are even if you are not still using the inside the whole project, but partially you can still use the context. Also, I recently learned about the reactive variables. I suggested during one of the meetings to use reactive variables because of its power and then its efficiency over the context API. And hopefully, I'm the one who's gonna initiate this, and then take this responsibility, to implement this reactive variables for state management. Yeah.
So yeah, which React version do you use?
React currently we have 18, React 18.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's not also about
Yeah, go
what
ahead.
yeah, what kind of salary are you expecting in our company?
Um, I know
Is
about I know about your company. I read a lot, and then made the quite analysis regarding your company and then the future strategies. Um, Despite it's a young company, but it's growing really fast. That's why I'm really confident that UXYZ company will provide me a competitive salary. But I'm more interested in your projects and then the team and then the tools that you are using.
So you're expecting like what range I will offer for you with this answer?
Um, Yeah, if you want me to more specific, then I can say like based on my skill set, the dedication I have done for the past 4 years, and then the career that I have completed, um, I would expect like somewhere around 120 and 140. I would be comfortable with that.
Yeah. Kanybek, this answer, like, it's more closer to our answer should be, or is really your opinion, like, is it?
So the first answer is also something you can try, but if they keep pushing you, like we need range, we need specific numbers, then you can come up with something based on your experience. I'm confident with somewhere around 95, 115, 110. You can also mention.
Mm.
Okay, it's up to you. Like, just take a look, and based on your experience, maybe 95 is also okay, or 110, 120. Okay.
I was also listening to someone who was trying to give a nice answer to this question, and they were saying that you could also say, like, right now I'm receiving offers, job offers with, I don't know, between, like, you can say 95,000 and 110 or something like that, depending what the
Mm,
range is.
yeah.
Or is
That's
it
that
really,
could be also nice. I don't know, but yeah, it could be.
you think, okay, it's a little bit strange, like,
Yeah, you can mention
it's
like,
like
yeah, you can
you're,
mention like I'm getting some offers. Um, so numbers like 95 to 110, but I'm more like interested the projects that you're working on, and the tools that you have been using. Uh, that's something you can mention.
is it
Yeah,
okay?
all
Just
this.
say them that you, like, already have, like, an, another offer from another company, and you're like between. Is it fine?
Yeah, it's fine.
Think
It's fine.
you, because you want to show them, like, you really like their company, how they work, what tools they use, and at the same time,
Um, it's kind of it's a game.
yeah, I know.
It's a game, like you can trick them. Sometimes it may be difficult. You might be tricked. Who knows?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
It depends. This salary negotiation depend. Yeah, it's gonna happen after the interview. If you like you, they can think they can
Yeah,
offer
sometimes
more,
they
but
they
it's
they
gonna
just like
happen after you are done all with these
yeah,
interviews,
most of
and
the time they
then
just
you
stop
can
there like
negotiate.
yeah, most of the time they stop there like what is your salary expectation? And when you answer like I'm confident that you guys XYZ company provide the competitive salary, but I'm more interested in your tools, team, and environment. Then they will say, "Oh, okay, yeah, thank you," and then they continue until the end of your interview stages. And when they are ready to offer, then they you will start again.
But the salary related questions will not be discussed during the interview. It's gonna
During
be
the interview,
with
yes,
your
but
recruiter
during the
before
first
or
call,
after. Yeah, first
first
call
first
with
call, they're
recruiter.
gonna
Yeah,
ask you, yeah,
with the recruiter.
yeah. But that's also
And
part
all,
of that's also part of the interview that you should be able to answer.
yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell me about the time when you disagreed with your boss.
I had I remember once, especially in my previous company. So what happened was like I had to implement card for the individual users, and the UX team provided me all the Figma designs. And right after the meeting, the manager was showing me completely different card designs. And then I was like, hey, we did a meeting and I have already all the requirements, the features. And then the manager insisted me to continue with his design. and I was in the in the middle of like two different options, and I thought manager maybe had another meeting with leadership, so they decided to go with the design changes, and then I agreed. However, it ended up by the end of the day, it ended up that the design manager suggested was the old one. He wasn't aware and then he wasn't informed by the UX team with the new changes. And the manager came to me asking again, hey, looks like the first option was correct, and you can continue doing the task where you were left. And then I was like, hey, you have to give me then another 2 days, because the whole day I spent with the requirements you mentioned. Now I have to revert everything and then start with the actual design. And then he was like, how 2 days? You just have to take the code back and then put the new styles really quickly. And then I was like, yeah, you're right, I agree, but it took me a lot of energy, and then I have to have a little bit of rest, and then dedicate my full effort again on based on that new requirements. And then he was like, yeah, it happens, and then let's do it like in less than 2 days, even though you require 2 days, but let's try to deliver as soon as possible. And then we kind of agreed, but that was a little like back and forth communication it was. However, I realized that it's part of the job. It may happen time by time. So the important thing is we have to be constructive. We have to find a common solution. Okay.
Yep, thank you. Was
Yeah.
it this example a real one or?
Kind of real, yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah?
happened. Yes, it's
Oh,
real.
okay.
Yeah, it's real.
So Kanybek, can you explain about how much time you spend on the code review, on peer reviews, and how you work on that code reviews with for other developers?
Yeah, that's a nice question. Because we do code reviews almost every day. So the code review, the time we dedicate depends on the the point that the ticket is assigned to. Okay, if the ticket has like points 4, 5, it means it's more complicated. It definitely underlines that it is more challenging and then complicated task. So we have to review it carefully. But if the ticket has a point of like 1 or 2, it means it's a small change. It is obviously not that complicated, not that big code. So you can expect like I don't know, like a couple of minutes, 5 to 10 for smaller code reviews, and sometimes several hours for complicated tickets, because you have to reach out the author of that code review of that code, and then get some insights, try to ask the questions until you are more like clarified. Otherwise it's difficult to just take a look and then approve. What I do is I pose a question and then ask to give me some clarification if there is something I'm still like struggling in understanding someone else's questions. So it pretty much depends, as I mentioned, from short period to longer times, how we actually do code reviews.
So yeah, when you do code review, do you just go over the code on GitHub or somewhere else, or you fetch it on your local and so try to
Yeah,
run?
most of the time, if the code looks like quite clear, you don't need to fetch, or you don't need to run it, because the code review already includes the screenshots, the animations, how the actual code is working on his side. Okay, so let's say whenever I push my code, I also include my screenshots. I also include my animations, how this code is making changes on my end. This way, the reviewer can also see it without the need of fetching and then running on his machine. Okay, so what we do is just try to understand the code. If we don't understand, we will ask the clarification and then continue from that point.
Okay, it means your team members are so providing kind of evidence, documentation,
Exactly.
screenshots,
Yes.
right, for your
Exactly.
code that
Yeah.
it's working as
Yes. Exactly.
expected.
Okay. Exactly. Yeah. Thank you.
And so and how you do so yeah, which tools do you use for debugging, and yeah, which approach do you use for debugging and tools?
So like to avoid from potential bugs, what we do is every component has unit test that that one generally eliminates bugs. Okay, the moment you have unit test, it guarantees you to have clear and then safe code. Also what we do is so like every 2 week we have a release, which means like we have to push all the changes that happen during the 2 weeks to the production. But before production, we have a UAT environment, which is called user acceptance test. Okay, UAT environment where the product managers, the QA engineers, also some team leads try to find out the issues if there is any, and then tries to test the real application. And those are kind of steps that we use to avoid potential bugs. I mean, if there is something that you are doing in your company, would be happy to know them.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
What contributions you brought to the team?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really proud that I have done contributions, especially in my current project. The notification feature, as well as the payment system, which is already started using by millions, even more than like I would say 10 million community. So what I have done is the notification system, like every single user receives up-to-date notifications from the company. I implemented the code using the most like smart approaches with the React and TypeScript, by using the functionalities like use memo, use callback, as well as the context API. If there is a like immediate change among the components, so this way the notification system is working fast and then performing really well. That's one contribution I would say I'm proud of. And then the payment system also. I implemented the UI part, and then the backend system is worked on top of Stripe system, but the UI part is really engaging, making the payment process smooth on the same page. Even if you go back and then the forward, you still maintain the data, and that's the I think important part when a user is experiencing or using your system. They should all the time maintain the data, even if they want to change or modify the amount or the data, the credit card. So these are the examples I would give you, the contributions. But of course, I have others as well. Feel free to ask me if you want.
in this kind of questions, can recruiter ask to show this part?
Oh no.
No?
Yeah.
And when we have,
So how
for
are you gonna
example,
show? How are you gonna show? The code is
not the
only
code on application. Oh, we can just show it. Okay, okay, got it.
yeah, if it's like already deployed and then used by public, then you can use the URL.
Okay. For example, I put the big company, and what can I tell about my contributions? Because I think they're already did lots of stuff, and then
Yeah, you can guys mention about the search functionality, the filter functionalities, the what else? The models, those are the features that you worked on, and then you can say, hey, these are the great features that I did, and then I was the author of them, and the manager complimented me about uh, of my work, the time it took for me, and then the quality that I delivered while building this features. So I would say these are the great contributions I have done, you can say. And also you can mention like the contributions, I would say, is not all the time considered as the technical feature, but also I was the one of the main team player. That's also a huge contribution, because it's important to be part of the team and then staying with them, building a healthy, positive communication, and keeping the work-life balance effectively with team members. This is also a good contribution, I would consider. You can mention something like that also, okay?
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, how you you mentioned about the notification system. Is it web notification or email notification, mobile which kind of
It's a web
notification?
application notification. Let's say it's not
Okay.
it's not email. Yeah, once we sign into your dashboard, if there is a news, you're gonna see that notification. Or
Yeah, I got
that's
it. I
kind of
got it.
in
When it's
those
a
kind of systems.
web based, okay.
Yeah,
So
those
yeah,
kind of.
I have a question about Kanybek. So you, yeah, how you share with your knowledge with other team members? Do you write any documentation?
Yeah, of course.
Or how you do contribute to the technical documentation and Confluence?
Yeah, that's a good question. I personally did one documentation in Confluence. So that was about the steps of onboarding for new joiners, because when I joined, I was kinda couldn't find the clear steps for installing and setting up all the environment for my machine. But regardless of that, I reached out the team members, my managers, asking help, and then it was really helpful. However, and then I came up with an idea of creating better environment and steps that makes the new joiners to set up and build everything smoothly. So what I did is I put the steps and then included all the like required installations, packages, one another next to each other, so not to get confused, or at least mitigated the number of questions they would probably ask. So this way, the new joiners will have less time to make ready their environment and start the job as soon as possible. That's the Confluence technical knowledge, I would say. I shared it with my team. And then another thing is like every time when I read a new article about GitHub commands, or something about TypeScript, I try to suggest during the meetings. Probably other team members also will have information about them because the team is really smart. And then we will kind of boil over there, and if we take a common decision, we will accept it, or at least we can postpone. So this way we keep sharing our knowledge. Okay.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
This is a difficult question. I didn't expect it. Oh, there's a question about the clean code from Karina. What does writing clean code mean to you? I have never like prepared the best answer for this one, but to my knowledge, the clean code. If I was asked again this question, clean code is something that makes your code really readable, understandable, and by implementing the function names, the variable names meaningfully rather than just naming them randomly. Another aspect of clean code is making your code reusable. So other team members can easily implement it, integrate it, rather than duplicating the logic behind your code. So what else? Like also clean code helps code reviewers to understand and read easily. That's what I can kind of remember about clean code, like reusable and then readable, less lines of code, and meaningful variable names, meaningful function names. Okay. Refactoring. What is refactoring? I heard a lot of times, but honestly, I may not be like clearly remembering it, the answer for this refactoring. But I heard it a lot of times. Okay. So it also happens like sometimes you don't have to answer all the questions. You can say, honestly, I don't remember the answer for this question. You can say. Anything else?
How is it? Wait, sorry, Kanybek, can we take 5 minutes break?
Um,
Yeah.
actually, if you like have the last few questions, you can ask. Otherwise, we can finish for today, guys.
See, maybe, yeah, maybe so,
Okay.
but
Yes, it was very informative today.
So next time we can also like again, like if you want, you can interview me for your questions, but